Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktiri Bhavati Nayistike Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and thanks for joining. So we have been doing this chapter-wise Bhagavad Gita summaries, and today is the last chapter, 18th chapter. So we know that Bhagavad Gita has been divided into 3 equal parts, and the 3 equal parts are, just from the Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, our Acharya, divided how Gita in a box. If you look at the picture here, that Bhagavad Gita has chapters, 1 to 6 chapters called Karma Yoga, and then chapter 7 to 12 is called Jnana Yoga. Then 7 to 12 called Bhakti Yoga. Then 13 to 18 are called Jnana Yoga. Okay, so these are the box, and if you look at this picture, the Bhakti has been protected by Jnana and Karma. Okay, so this is very what you call that the Bhakti is protected by this Jnana and Karma because it is very precious and very valuable. So what I would do today, then 18th chapter, as already Simeshwar Prabhu explained, that 18th chapter is basically a surrender, how surrender has to take place. So first 1 to 6 chapters, the Krishna talks about atomic cell, how individual soul will be involved in bhakti, right? He talks about individual soul. We have seen Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Nishkama Karma Yoga, then Bhagavat Artha Nishkama Karma Yoga, etc. And these different yogas have been spoken so that individual's self can involve in bhakti. Starting from chapter 7 to 12, Krishna talks about himself, transcendental qualities of Krishna himself. Who is he? Okay, and what are the qualities of Krishna, etc. Then starting from 13th onwards, Krishna talks different aspects of how Krishna can be seen through the nature. When you go to the nature, how we can see Krishna, and how you perceive the absolute reality, Lord Sri Krishna, through the nature, right? And then finally comes to finally comes to the understanding what is 18 chapters talks about. And the summum bonum, whole crux of all 17 chapters has been summarized in the 18th chapter. Surrender, how Sharanagati has to take place. So with regard to that one, what I would do, I would like to present. I'll stop here and I'll go to my share screen, and I'll go to Bhagavad Gita shlokas. Run my Bhagavad Gita shlokas here. Okay, this one, let me see. Oh, yeah, here. This is, okay. Now, if you can go here, this is Gita, this is my work. Yeah, here. Can you everybody see this 18th chapter first shloka? Okay. Can you repeat? Are you able to see or no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, okay, 8 point. Okay. Repeat after. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Sannyasasya Mahabaho.
Sannyasasya mahabaho
Tattvam ichchami veditum.
tattvam ichchami veditum.
Tyagasya cha rushikesha.
Tagasya ruchikesha
Prutak keshi nishudana.
pruthakeshu nisidusna.
So in this translation, Prabhupada says, Arjuna said, O mighty armed one,
Oh, Arjuna said, O mighty armed one,
I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyaga,
I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyaga,
and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa.
and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa.
O killer of the Keshi demon,
O killer of the Kesi demon,
master of the senses.
master of the senses.
So, this is the first sloka. And in this chapter, 18th chapter, basically Krishna is dividing, okay, like different parts. First part, starting from 1 to 12 chapter, and the chapter is entitled as Surrender Unto Me, Saranagati, and Fight. See, in the whole Bhagavad Gita, every chapter is some message with fight, some message with fight, some message with fight. Because the ultimate goal is Arjuna has to get the information which is needed for him to withstand and fight the war. So every chapter, Krishna gives some message, you should fight. Krishna gives some message, you should fight. In the 18th chapter, he says, surrender unto me and fight. Look at that. This is the Sharanagati. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains what is Sharanagati. Sharanagati is defined as accepting the will of the Lord is called Sharanagati. The moment Krishna, whatever he says, we accept it. We don't question why Krishna is doing that way. That is the Sharanagati. So the shlokas from 1 to 12 explains renounce the results, not actions. This is very, what you call mind-boggling here. Renounce the results, not the actions. Okay. Arjuna asked Krishna to differentiate between sannyasa and tyaga. What's the difference between sannyasa and tyaga? Krishna begins by citing great philosophers who say that tyaga means to renounce the results of one's work. Tyaga. Renounce the results of the work. And also, in other words, in third chapter, we well studied that means that renounce the results. Nishkama karma yoga, right? We are working, but giving results to Krishna. That is the renunciation, perfect renunciation. And what the sannyasa means, renounce the both results and the work itself, as it is not possible to give up all the action completely. The simple example, we are grihasthas. We cannot stay without performing any action. We need to perform the action, give the results to Krishna. And he who gives up the results of action is considered as a tyagi. Tyagi means full surrender. That is what Krishna explaining from shloka 1 to shloka 12. Okay. Then coming to the 13th shloka to 18th shloka, see each part Krishna giving some message. Know what you are not the only doer. Know that you are not only the doer and fight. In this is a misconception of absolutely a misconception is that we think we are the doers. We think it's happening because of me, because of my ability. But we know that it's not because of, it's because we are not the doers. Krishna makes us to do it. Okay. As per the Vedanta, all good or bad actions performed within body, mind, words have 5 causes. This is a very interesting. Okay. As per the Vedanta, all good or bad actions performed with body, mind, words. That's called BMW, body, mind, words. And our Rupa Goswami Prabhupada explains, Karmana Manasagira. Jivan Muktasya Uchate. By body, mind, and words. What are those? We have 5 causes. Adhisthanam, that is body. Krita, so Karta, soul. And Karmanam, senses. Shestas, pranas. Daivam, super soul. And catalyst. 3 catalysts we have. Jnanam, knowledge. Jnayam, knowable. And Parijnata, knower. And 3 constituents called Karta, doer, karma, kriya, activity, karanam, senses. So by knowing these facts that we know that you are not the doer only, you know that you are not the only doer. It's not happening because of you. You should fight. So every few shlokas, Krishna is giving message to Arjun that, and Arjun also finally says on the 18th chapter, okay, Krishna, you spoke about 17 chapters. Please give me one instruction I want to follow strictly. Then this chapter came into existence, and Krishna gives very nicely how to surrender. And starting from shloka 19 to 40, Krishna says that no one is devoid of modes. We all know that three modes of material nature are very powerful, and nobody is out of three modes of material nature, because the basic nature of the nature is three modes. Okay, three modes are mode of passion, goodness, ignorance. Even devotees, we also practice Krishna consciousness, and Krishna consciousness is supposed to be beyond three modes of material nature, but the it's not like completely devoid of the even mode of goodness. The material nature, it is associated with the even mode of goodness. It once you are in the Krishna consciousness, it is beyond the three modes of material nature, but still a part of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance is always mixed with the bhakti as well. Sometimes that's why, as a grihastha, we don't do pure bhakti, we do karma mishrama bhakti, jnana mishrama bhakti. Why? Because as a household, we have certain desires, though Krishna may not like it, but we fulfill, but we give results to Krishna. That is the surrender process. Happens in the okay. Then act according to your own nature. So, according to the gunas arising from previous impressions, four types of people are created. We know that Chaturvarna Maya Shastram, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. This is basically purely based upon the modes, right? And anyone on this can become perfect by following the duties prescribed in his varna for the Lord's pleasure. So, in this, whether you belong to Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmana, Kshatriya, doesn't matter. Anybody can take up, rise above three modes of material nature and involved in the process of bhakti. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was talking to Bengali Vaishnavas, he explained very clearly, doesn't matter what varna and ashrama we belong to. And he quoted a shloka from Padma Puran. He says, Varnasrama acharavato purushena parapuman Vishnu aradhyate. Right? He says that varna ashrama doesn't matter, and if whatever varna, whatever ashrama you are, once you take the worship of Lord Vishnu, we're all in the same category. The brahmachari, vanaprastha or grihastha doesn't matter. Okay, in the same way, doesn't matter Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya. Once we take the worship of Lord Vishnu, varnasrama acharavato purushena parapiman. Krishna is a worshipper. Vishnu aradhyate. That is a common principle for all the varna and ashrama. Playing that part here. Okay. So then, coming to 49 to 55th shloka, for example, right? What Krishna explaining here, Jnana Yoga also leads to perfection, but better you fight. Look at that. Different yogas. We have different Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, etc., etc. All these yogas would lead to only one final destination, Bhakti Yoga. Here is saying that Jnana Yoga also leads to perfection. When the moment he said Jnana Yoga leads to perfection, means that it leads to Bhakti Yoga, because Bhakti Yoga is a perfect stage of a devotee. The perfect stage of a living entity is a devotee. Because why devotee? Because as a devotee, we're supposed to be situated in the considered position of the living entity. Jivere Swarupe Krishnera Nityadas. So one who is self-controlled and completely unattached can engage in jnana yoga to achieve the supreme perfection. By controlling the mind, giving up sense objects, in this way, one can remain in peaceful trance. He can then realize Brahman and may finally achieve devotion to Krishna and enters abode. And in this context, we have one shloka, we all know that. It is explained by here very clearly, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kamshati, samsarveshu bodeshu mad bhakte labate param. When you understand that level of different yogas, how they lead to Bhakti Yoga. A person who leads to Bhakti Yoga, finally he comes to a level where Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma level. At this kind of, if you look at the translation, one who is just transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. So this is also indicating that how different bhakti, jnana yoga, karma yoga, different yogas, how they ultimately lead to bhakti yoga. When that comes to that level, that person who is in that level, he is on the Brahmabhuta level. Brahmabhuta person. Nashochati na kamshati. Whatever happens in my life, that Krishna's responsibility. I don't worry about it. It's easier said than done. So he explains that way. One who is the transcendently situated as the Supreme Brahman becomes very fully joyful. That is the situation with the devotees of the Lord, that once we surrender to Supreme Lord 100%, then nothing to be worried, and Krishna takes care of. He never laments or desires to have anything. He's equally disposed towards every living entity. That's
maybe I do not know.
that's
મારે અહીંયા ગીતાના ક્લાસ ચાલે છે. ઓકે.
in that state, he never attains. He all attains pure devotional service unto me. And this very famous shloka, Prabhupada beautifully puts here the major conception of life, and one works for sense gratification is a misery. Prabhupada beautifully starts and sentences that anyone working for their own sense gratification, we are always in the misery. Why? Because that binds us back into this material world. That's why Krishna in the third chapter explains beautifully that how do nishkama karma yoga. And here Prabhupada is what is surrender process. What is the meaning of surrender? Surrender is not that I don't want to do actions. No, we do all the actions, but we give it to Krishna results. Phalashruti. This chapter is also called Phalashruti. What is the benefit of reading 18th chapter, of reading 17th chapter? In the 18th chapter, Phalashruti is given to us. What is that? Surrender, total surrender to Krishna. And he has shown the process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came and shown the surrender process, how it should be done. So that's how it's explaining in this Brahmabhuta stage. That is from 42. So this one, like 49 to 55. Jnana Yoga also leads to perfection, but better you fight. One who is self-controlled and completely unattached can engage in Jnana Yoga to achieve the supreme perfection. By controlling the mind, giving up sense objects, in this way, one can remain in peaceful trance. Look at that, giving up sense objects. This is because one of the challenges for how I should give the sense objects. Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasobhyapya param drishtva nivartate. Second chapter explains param drishtva nivartate. What's the meaning of param drishtva nivartate? Looking the higher taste of devotional service. When you are engaged in the higher taste of devotional service, you give up the lower taste. Same way here, when somebody is involved in the bhakti process, we are not interested in anything in this world. Why? Because that is basically what we get pleasure out of it. What is that? And the 10th chapter explains that. What is that? Machita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kata yantasya mam nityam tushanti charamanti cha. My dear Arjun, my devotees, my bhaktas always derive pleasure by talking about me and my activities. That is when you come to the Brahmabhuta Prasannatma level, that is where you achieve fully transcendental trance, that everything for Krishna. What is that? Rishikesha and Rishikesha Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchate. When our senses have been attached, or when senses are used for serving Krishna, then we get a best joy in the world. Why? Because Krishna is the master of the senses. When our senses are engaged for the service of Lord Sri Krishna, and our senses get satisfied, that is called full surrender. Sharanagati. What is Sharanagati? My happiness is only what Krishna's happiness is my happiness. I have no independent desire of Lord Sri Krishna. That is the surrender process. Otherwise, what is not surrender process? That my interest is different from Krishna's interest. I have a personal life, I have a devotional life. No, nothing like that. For a devotee, there is no personal life, devotional life. Everything is a devotional life. Our family, our wife, our kids, our house, our job, everything for the sake of Krishna. That is a full surrender process. And Prabhupada has given us very nicely how surrender has to take place. Everything, including, that's the beauty. In ISKCON, a little kid can also serve Prabhupada mission by directly or indirectly. We have seen lately so many kids are, having pods, about Krishna pods, etc., writing shlokas, reciting shlokas, serving in the temple, deity dress. Everything is there for that is a total surrender process has been given in Prabhupada. Okay, so that's how chapter explains up to 55. Then 56 to 56. See, 50, 49, 55, he gave a Jnana Yoga leads to perfection. Then 59 and 60, Buddhi Yoga also leads to same perfection. Look at that. Jnana Yoga and Buddhi Yoga. Jnana and Buddhi, right? These two will lead to perfection. And when these lead to perfection means that Bhakti Yoga, then our surrenders begin process. So, on the Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti level, what happens is that our interest supersedes Krishna's interest. As we get purificated process, what happens? Krishna's desires precedes our desires. And in the morning Bhagavatam, we are reading about Dhruva Charitra, Dhruva Maharaj, how Dhruva Maharaj has been not allowed by his stepmother not to sit in the father of his father Uttanapad. So Surichi, step 5, you cannot sit on your father's lap until you take birth from my womb. Okay, and Dhruva Maharaj gets so much disturbed, and he goes to his mother Suniti and asks. Mother Suniti says, nothing much I can do about it. I can only advise that go to the Supreme Lord and pray to him, and you will get everything what you want. Then, based on 5 years old Dhruva Maharaj, going on the way, the strong desire in the heart that he wanted to get a kingdom greater than his father Uttanapad and his great grandfather Lord Brahma. He wanted to get that one. But when he met Narada Muni tested him so many ways. You're a small boy, 5 years. Why are you taking those words very harsh? You're a boy, just give it up, go and play. He tests him so many ways, but Dhruva Maharaj was determined. And the determination when Krishna, and he says that, his mother words said that, you are interested, but I don't think that is suitable for you, and you should engage in the process of bhakti. So the spiritual master in the form, the Narada in the form of spiritual master, he gives a instruction to Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj comes, I am not Brahman, I am a Kshatriya, I have to fight this, that. He keeps on arguing with Narada Muni. But finally, when Narada Muni says that you have to accept that the instruction of the supreme the spiritual master, and if you are surrendered to me, then that process takes place, and he surrenders to the Narada Muni, and he executes devotional service. And his intention was to get a greater kingdom than Brahma, but finally he surrenders, and Supreme Lord comes. And at that point, he realizes how important devotional service compared to our material desires. So that Sharanagati has to be there finally. And that is the one which protects us. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? We are going to the next famous sloka that is called 1866 here. We know that these are the different slokas. Okay, so 56 to 60, Buddhi Yoga, that leads to perfection again, same thing. Then 61 to 63, surrender to super soul. Look at that. One can reach Krishna's abode by surrendering unto him. Krishna says, deliberating on this, do as you like. Look at the instructing to Arjuna that by surrendering process, one can reach Krishna abode by surrendering unto him. What's the meaning of surrender unto him? What is the process of surrendering? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed already between how surrender process has to take place. That surrender means Saranagati, how it should take place. But the Prahlad Maharaj gave a beautiful example of how surrender has to take place. Follow the Navida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Any Navadviya Bhakti, we can surrender to Krishna by serving Krishna. So he has shown the process and surrender process. By what? Karmana Manasajira, body, mind, and words. That surrender process has there. Okay. Then also he says that 64 to 66, surrender unto me. He says first, Krishna is like little, first you say surrender to me. Surrender to whom? Not to the demigods. Surrender to me. That is where our famous sloka comes. Sarva dharman parityeja, mamekam sharanam vraja, ham svam sarva papeja, moksha yashyami, mashuchaha. Mashuchaha means that no fear, without fear you surrender unto me. So that's how in this also Prabhupada explains, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. See how boldly Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. There is no ambiguity when he explains. He is very clearly saying that just surrender to me and I shall protect you, all of you. I just want to see how I'm doing in the time wise. Okay, this is 7:28. Okay, that means. So here, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sin reaction. Do not fear. So here, question comes is that how to abandon all religion and just surrender. Krishna himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita, all varieties of religion. He knows that we are not easily surrendered. That's why he's giving a final instructions to Arjun, saying that I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. So if you think that you are doing some other process, something you are going to get some sinful actions, don't worry. The moment as soon as you come to me, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me, I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. See, these are the words coming from the lotus mouth of Lord Sri Krishna. He himself is declaring the whole world. And what that called Bhagavad Gita spoken by the Lord. Partaya Pratipodita Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. Right? Do not fear. And this is what Narada Muni gave instruction to Dhruva Maharaj also. When he was asking questions back and forth, he said, my dear boy, Dhruva, don't trust me. I'm your spiritual master. And you have faith in me. Just follow instructions I gave it to you. And Dhruva Maharaj surrendered to him. So we all have surrendered to Prabhupada mission, right? Because the surrender process has to be there. And 100% Sharanagati comes, then we'll be totally into the transcendental abode of Lord Sri Krishna. But it may take some time to get this total conviction during the surrender process. Easier said than done, I said, right? So the surrender process has to be done. Karmana manasa gira, by words, by action, and by mind, manasa, manaha, and they have to be performed. And the Lord has described various kinds of knowledge process of religion, knowledge of Supreme Brahman, and we know that Supreme Brahman, Super Soul. There are three ways we can perceive the absolute reality: impersonal Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan realizations. And also Krishna says in several shlokas that how rare to get this bhakti, my dear devotees, how rare to get this bhakti. What is that called? Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapajyate vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlava. And how many lifetimes we had to come to Krishna. It's not an easy task. You go and teach to somebody about Krishna, they don't accept it. It's not easy to surrender to Krishna. So whoever surrendered to Krishna might have taken millions of lifetimes before, and you might have experimented enough things in your life. Then finally you gave up everything because nothing was working. And then you came, Krishna is the supreme. Krishna is everything for me. Bahuram janmanamante. Jnanavan, the person who is intelligent, will accept Krishna. Vasudevam sarvamiti. And Sabahatma Sudurlabha. Very, very rare people are there in this world to accept Krishna as the supreme. But a person who accepts Krishna as the supreme Lord, that he might have done Ashwamedha yagas in the previous lifetimes, then only Krishna allows to come to closer to him. He allows to chant his glories. It's not an easy task, my dear devotees here. So how fortunate we are coming to this mission of Prabhupada and practicing this bhakti. And as I remember, Bhakti Charu Maharaj used to always say that, show me something in the world better than Krishna consciousness, I will take it up. And nothing is there to prove beyond our doubt. Nothing is there. Krishna consciousness is the one which gives happiness now and gives happiness eternally, eternal happiness. That's why Prabhupada writes, what is that called? Satchitananda Vigraha, Sat Chit Ananda, Sat eternality, Chit knowledge, Ananda blissful. Only blissful part comes into picture when you accept Krishna as a person. Sat potency is there with impersonal Brahman. Chit potency is there with localized Paramatma. But bliss part is missing. The bliss part only comes when you have a loving relationship with Krishna. Prabhupada always explains loving relationship with Krishna. Right? Sorry, I think I start somehow sharing. So that is what Prabhupada explained. Loving relationship. We never heard about loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. These are the words coming from Prabhupada, loving relationship with Krishna. That we need to start developing. We have taken so many lifetimes before, previous lifetime, but it's very rare to get human form of life. What is that? Bhagavatam says, Durlabho manusho deho dehi nam kshanabhanguram tatrapi durlabham manye vaikunta priyadarsanam. My dear devotees, getting human form is very, very, very rare. Out of 8.4 billion species of lives, right? It's very rare to get the human form of life. And getting human form of life also, I mean, human form also, we have 400,000 humankinds. What is that? Padma Purana explains, Jalajana Valakshani, Stavaraha Laksha Vimshati, Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. There are 1 million Pakshis are there. And we don't know where we end up if we miss this chance of going back to Krishna. 8.4 million species. Very rare to get this human form of life. But this human form of life can be, and at any moment, is like a bubble in the water. Okay, we don't have much time left on this planet. Utilize the time we have, utilize the process given by our acharyas, and go back home where you belong to. This is not our home. If this is our home, we'll be staying permanently here. No, this is not our home. Our home is Goloka Vrindavan. Once you go there, you will not come back to this world. Krishna gave that promises 100 times in Bhagavad Gita. Time and again, he explained what is the purpose of this human form of life, how precious it is, how it can be utilized for the service of the Supreme Lord. Okay. Then going to the then 64 to 66, he said, surrender unto me and fight. 67 to 73, Krishna glorifies the Gita and Arjuna accepts Gita. This is where real acceptance of Arjuna. Arjuna, again, I don't want to say Arjuna is non-devotee. Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord, but he was put into Yogamaya potency. The Yogamaya potency, and he pretends that he doesn't know these instructions so that he can hear again from Krishna so that we all get benefited. The Yogamaya potency is very powerful. He forgets his nose. Even Vilvamangala Thakur, our Vaishnava Acharya, explains in Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, where Bhaktaram Tamara sings so beautifully that Damodara, Govinda Damodara. And he says that when Vilvamangala Thakur composes the poems, Lord Sri Krishna comes and just listens to his own stories. Krishna forgets that he is a god. Krishna forgets. He just simply listens his own stories. That innocent Krishna is. And when you say few words, and Krishna thinks Ram, Krishna thinks he is calling Haram, Krishna thinks he is calling my name. Krishna only sees positivity in our us. Right? You see the example of Putana. Putana came the intention of killing Krishna with poisonous breast milk. But Krishna have not seen negativity in Putana. He has seen only positivity. But she came to feed me a motherly love. Let me give her highest moksha where Mother Devaki could not get it. And Putana got the benediction of going back to Goloka Vrindavan. That innocent Krishna, that easy to get Krishna. But we make our lives very hard to accept Krishna as the supreme. That's why Krishna says several times in the Bhagavad Gita, Man manava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaro. So give everything, come to me, I will take care of you. Marshachaha. And 18th chapter explains so many shlokas. What is the purpose of, what is the benefit of surrender? Brahma Bhota Prasannatma level. You don't have to worry for it. Na shochati, na kankshati. Sarvadharman parityeja mam ekam sharanam braja. He's time and again telling Krishna again and again, don't worry, I will take care of you, I will deliver you. But we are playing with cards with Krishna. No, Krishna, just wait. I have something else to do here. I'll take care of my wife. I'll take care of my kids. Krishna, please wait, Krishna, please wait. That's our move we have here, right? So, and Krishna, in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Krishna explains beautifully how Gopakumar goes to different planets. Finally, he reaches to Goloka Vrindavan, and Krishna is waiting for Gopakumar. He says, my dear Gopakumar, why did you take so long to come to here? I've been waiting for you for so long, my dear Gopakumar. Why did you take so long? That is the longing of Krishna for the devotees of the Lord. How we long. Krishna longs more than we long for Krishna, and is waiting at the Goloka Vrindavan near doors of Vaikuntha. Is waiting for us to come there. He wants to receive and fully, happily. For each of us, we have relationship with Krishna, and with that relationship, he is waiting us to receive in Goloka Vrindavan. But we are just postponing our travel to Krishna. Let me learn Krishna. I'm a human being, enjoy. Let me go as a some other species. Let me go as a dog. Let me go as a pig. Let me go as this. Let me enjoy more and more, more and more. As our great Prahlad Maharaj explains, what is that? Adanta Gobir. Adanta Gobir. Punaha Punaha Charvita Charvana Nam. Okay, Krishna, I'm a pig. I enjoyed piglets, pig wife. Let me take as a dog. I want to see what I'm going to enjoy most too now. Okay, Krishna, I'm done with dog. Let me take as a cat. Krishna, let me enjoy. We keep on changing bodies and trying to see, but nowhere the happiness is there. Punaha punaha charvita charvana. Give example. How a ghana you eat first time you get juice, second time you get little juice, third time. But we keep on chewing, no juice comes. We keep on taking different species, transmigration of the soul. But we are not going to be enjoying that. It is like a example given Indradeva, he becomes a pig, and Narada Muni comes and says, no, your time is over. Come, no, I'm enjoying. Narada Muni, don't disturb me. I have a very good pig wife, piglets, etc., etc. Same way, we're enjoying this material nature, independent of Krishna. That is where the real suffering comes into picture, the devotees. So the heading chapter is giving how surrender has to take place. After reading 17 chapters, surrender unto me, Sarva Dharma, leave up all duties, what you are thinking about this, that give up everything and take my shelter. And finally, 74 to, let me see how I'm doing the time wise. Okay. And in the 70, 77, Sanjaya glorifies Gita. Sanjaya glorifies Gita. In the beginning, if you look at Dharma Kshetre, Guru Kshetre, first shloka, then Dhritarashtra curiously asking Sanjaya, what is happening at the place of Kurukshetra? Sanjaya says, something is going on, this is happening. Sanjaya had a Divya Drishti given by spiritual master, and he is seeing what is happening. Like a TV screen, he is seeing everything. Like a TV screen in the mind, he's seeing everything what's happening. Then Dhritarashtra asking, can you tell me what's happening? Can you tell me what? Because he is a blind person, he's asking, okay, what's happening? What's happening? He's explaining whole TV serial, like he's seeing from his mind, TV, and he's explaining. Now, finally, the Sanjaya also glorifies Gita. Having heard the Gita by his spiritual master's mercy, okay, Sanjaya hair stands on end. He becomes struck with wonder and joy because Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetra, Dharma has been established by fighting the war from Arjuna by hearing Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. Okay, 18th chapter. He said how surrender has taken place. And finally, the 78th shloka explains so beautifully. Gita ends, Dhritarashtra's questions answered. What is the Dhritarashtra's question was answered? who is doing, what is happening, who is going to die, blah, blah, blah. Finally, the Dhritarashtra's question was answered. What is that? Pandavas, Kauravas are fighting, and the war is ended, and all your sons are dead. So here, the Falashruti for us, the hearing devotees, is that here explains that 78 shloka that Sanjay answers, what is that? Krishna and Arjuna cannot be defeated, period. That is the conclusion. Krishna and Arjuna cannot be defeated. You have no hope of victory, is telling to the Rashtra's. And wherever Krishna, the master of all mystics, and Arjuna, the supreme archer, are present, there will certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power. And these are the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, and the 18th chapter, wherever Yetra Yogeshwaro Krishna, wherever Krishna and Arjuna are present, that there is no room for defeat. Everything is a victory. And we all know that in the first chapter only, Panchajanam Rishikesham, Devadattam Dhananjaya, the Krishna blew his conch shell, right? From Pandavas said that was a victory already declared there. And that victory is now given that information to Dhritarashtra by Sanjaya that, no, we are kidding, we must be kidding, Mr. Dhritarashtra. Wherever Krishna, wherever Arjuna is there, that there is no question of repeat. And your sons are burnt into ashes because of their adharma process. So that's what you say, that victory, extraordinary, and power. So that's how conclusion of this chapter, that summum of everything, all 17 chapters will give different yoga system, different surrender process. But here, Krishna gives a gist, or not gist, I would say it in a concise way. So the concise way of presenting all the 17 chapters in this one, how to surrender to the process of bhakti, and how to surrender to Krishna, how to follow his instructions, and how we should not get feared, and how we should love the God, because we have been taught since childhood fear of God, but Prabhupada taught us a love of God that has been clearly explained here. Okay, so what I would do, dear devotees, you're all learned, because 18 chapter means you're all masters in 17, 18 chapters. I would leave 15 minutes of room for everyone to pitch in and give your realizations and your take-home message, because we are ending this Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter today. I would like to hear from each devotee maybe 1 or 2 minutes, so that we have 50 minutes of time. Hare Krishna. Everyone should speak up. You all have to become a preachers. Prabhupada says, right? Each one teach 10. Then whole world will be Krishna consciousness. Each
Hare
one
Krishna.
teach 10. Mataji, Hare Krishna. Who is this? Satyabhama Mataji?
Anjana. This is
Anjana
Anjana.
Mataji. Anjana Mataji, go ahead.
Just like I can say the questions I have been asking for past few days, all the answers were hidden in this last chapter. And now I am kind of bit laughing at myself. And I think the other Prabhuji, he might be understanding, he might be like how I'm feeling right now, the way I have been asking questions, but like very nicely explained. And the lesson to go is like, I just need to go into details all the yogas in the beginning chapters. And the rest is like pretty much, I can say, in a good way. And also just in a detail, a dharma and a dharma, like, teeny tiny details. Just curious to know or read about those, and I will go through that.
Sure, definitely. And Mataji, you got a very good point. Even it may take some time, just follow the process given by Prabhupada. That process covers all these 18 chapters. By following 4 or 5 principles given by our Divine Grace Prabhupada, if you follow 4 or 5 regulations and process, bhakti process has been given, if you really follow, see that there's a beauty of Prabhupada. He has constituted all his 18 chapters in those 5 or 6 instructions. If you're following the instructions, means you're following Bhagavad Gita and Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, I understand now.
Yeah. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing. I know we can go 2 hours, 3 hours on this chapter, the 18th chapter. We have 79 shlokas, 78 shlokas, but I just wanted to give a gist of it. And you're all hearing for so long. I'm sure you all have a lot to share. That's why I thought of leaving 15 minutes for hearing from all of you, each person who were in this call. You take 1 minute. Hey, this is what I learned from this one. That would at least give us satisfaction that these classes have been useful for all of you. Each person, please open your Zoom unmute it and share 1 or 2 points, and that gives us, and also we can learn from you, all of you. Also, it's not that just we speak here, because every person has Paramatma sitting in your heart. You have realizations. Just share those realizations. Nothing wrong with that. Dear devotees, please open up your mouth.
Dandavat Pranam to everyone.
Ashish Prabhu ki jai.
Jai Prabhu Jai. Very nicely you describe, very elaborately and nicely you explain everything, and particular slokas also, important sloka also you touched. Prabhu, one thing is that Sarva Dharma Puritajya Mam Evam Saranam Bhajo. So that verse, Bhagavan Krishna telling that everything you abandon, all the religion you abandon, just surrender to me. I will take care of you will be free from the all sinful reaction. I'm guaranteed to you. So that is Krishna already gave the surety. But I think that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came how to surrender actually.
Yes.
I'm thinking that Krishna told that come to surrender to me, but how to surrender? That is the process given by the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Absolutely. Correct. Absolutely.
Yes. So that is, I want to add these things. If you elaborate a little bit more about this, that will be great.
Excuse me. Yeah. Let's give chance to other devotees. I think I could answer, but I want to hear from other devotees. Any other devotee would mind answering that? You're all, yeah, no problem. Thank you, Ashish Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, August Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Brother Maharaj, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. I was reading a book of Prabhupada's, and in that says that that you eat for Krishna, you laugh for Krishna, you do work for Krishna, keeping Krishna in mind. Whatever you do it for him. Talk to him, bring him in your life by just be with him. Like you imagine that Krishna is with you, standing you. Now also Krishna is listening to you, listening to all of us, and keeping Krishna in the center all the time. And don't give up. And, Hare Krishna, the way we talk, he will reciprocate. He will
Absolutely.
talk to you back right away. If you have some concerns, if you have anything, he will talk to you. But the thing is, वही है ना, अच्युतम केशवम. हम खिलाते नहीं तो भगवान खाते हैं, पर हम खिलाते नहीं हैं. वो सोते हैं, हम सुलाते नहीं हैं. वो नाचते, हम नचाते नहीं हैं. तो this is all about the bhava and how we communicate with that bhava. And that's what I...
Absolutely. He is called Bhavagrihi Janardana. Krishna doesn't say our Bhasha, he sees our Bhava. Bhavagrihi Janardana. Our Bhava. That is what whole process, spirituality is a Bhava, right? Because if you go to the ladder of bhakti process, Ado Saddhatata, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriyanata Nivritti, Asakti, etc., Nishta. When you come to Bhava level, the devotional ecstasy is really manifested. In the Bhava level, you can participate in the glories of Krishna, and then there's especially Nama Guna Rupa Lila. You can see Nama Guna Rupa. You can see the Rupa of Krishna in the Bhava level. That's what bhava means. Bhava has to be higher bhava. Then you can feel Krishna and you can see Krishna. You can play with Krishna also. He's called Bhava Grihi Janardhan. Absolutely. And that's why Prabhupada gave one statement called, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna, 24/7. Restroom, nothing, doesn't matter. Shuchi, apuchi, nothing is there. Everywhere Krishna is there. Like Prabhupada gives examples of sun rays, how sun rays falls on the dirt, also sun rays falls on the beautiful gardens. Same way, Krishna is available everywhere. It's up to us how we make use of it, how we receive it. Krishna gives equalness to all of them. Absolutely. Good point, Mataji brought up. Thank you for sharing that. Any other devotees? You all have to become preachers, my dear devotees. That's what I say in classes also. Everyone, each one teach 10. Follow that formula. If each person teaches 10 people, our ISKCON, our devotees become 10 times what we have congregation. Each one teach 10. Doesn't matter. It doesn't say none of us have a full. Krishna is infinite, right? We cannot know Krishna fully, even if we study our lives, this life, 10 lifetimes. He is infinite. He is infinite. But with our humility and humbleness, we pray to spiritual masters, Prabhupada, give some knowledge. Do you think we all know? No, we also learn. Whatever you know, teach one, teach two, teach three. Propagate the name of Krishna. And I was reading on the one of the shlokas today, 18th chapter. Actually, Krishna says that who is the most dear to me, who propagates my name, who talks about me to other devotees. They are the most dear devotees. The devotees, this doesn't cost money. Okay. Of course, we need to see the receiving part intention also. If somebody is not interested in Krishna, we don't want to forcefully teach because that becomes a paradh. But somebody interested, slowly they come to Krishna consciousness. We all came like that. We have an example, see. Anybody else would like to talk? Okay, we have, let's see. Sudhakar Prabhu is there. We don't have anything, Sudhakar Prabhu here.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Always
Oh.
Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, Prabhuji, so now with the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge, if I want to get one thing out of it, right? So, I mean, basically there's nothing to fear. And then, we just have to practice letting go. I mean, all the knowledge given by Lord, basically, it should empower us that there's nothing to fear, and we should not cling to any particular thing. Practice the detachment, and of course, again, it's easy if we do it, if we follow the devotional path. There are different paths given by the Lord, but then Lord also clearly explains that path of devotional service is the most easiest thing. So that's what I would say, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Bhakti Maharaj, we all know that. I have seen him also, Bhakti Maharaj. I used to go with the Nagar Maharaj alive with Vrindavan Prabhu. So Bhakti Maharaj said that, laughingly said, Prabhupada cheated us. What does it mean? He said 16 rounds for regular principles. That looks so easy, but it's as easy as we think and as difficult as we think also. So yeah, I agree with that one. So if we have what you call that elevated consciousness and to the Supreme Lord, that 16 we can just for 1.5 hour you can finish 16 rounds and involve in the process of bhakti. No complaints. But others who are not surrender, not interested. My 16 rounds, it takes 3 hours to slog on. Oh, I have to do this, that. So It's as easy as or as difficult as it is. Yeah. Okay. Gunjan Mataji, you want to add anything here?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, always.
Oh, God.
It's an it was an amazing thing to hear all these summarized lectures of all this Bhagavad Gita. And basically what my understanding is Bhagavad Gita is like it not only teaches us like how we should live our life, but it also teaches us, like as you say, like the art of dying successfully.
Absolutely.
Like not only just the bhakti yoga, I think all the sections of the Bhagavad Gita, they give so much of knowledge of how we should the basically that defines the practical implication of life. Like karma yoga also tells us like how we should do all our karmas keeping Krishna in the center. And Gyan Yoga also was very knowledgeable, like where we understand like who's the doer, right? Like what are the impacts of the material modes of nature on our daily activities. We are in one of the three modes at any point of time. How they move, like I mean, it's for our knowledge, so that we are more vigilant on what we are doing, so that we can use that knowledge to move towards bhakti and do the bhakti yoga. So everything culminates finally into the bhakti yoga. That's what my thinking is. And the central section, it just tells us like who Krishna is, and like what are the opulences of Krishna. So all this combined information, like it helps us. Like for example, the Gyan Yoga also talks about divine and demonic natures. So how we should implement in our life, what we should be vigilant of, how we should be doing our karmas, and how it should ultimately culminate into a devotional service, like a pure at the transcendental level, how we can serve Krishna. And that's what is there. And last chapter, as you mentioned, the main point is we should just surrender to Krishna. So whatever activities we are doing, whatever knowledge we are gaining, we should just understand it's basically to understand our identity, what is the purpose of this life, and what is our constitutional position, and how we should surrender to Krishna. That's the essence of this entire life, and how we should use this human life. It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita.
So nice, Mataji. So nice. Nicely explained. Very well. Yeah. The art of dying, right? I repeat several times. How Vishwadeva successfully died. How Vaishnava dies is our art of dying we teach, not art of living. And dogs can live on the street, no big deal. But art of dying is very important. You put a point. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. See, you all speak better than us, so you all should preach, each one teach 10. So you have so much information, dear devotees. Yeah, and it's a benefit of our SISCON of Central New Jersey on behalf of our management, Simeshwar Prabhu's persistence to have classes every day. So look at that, how we are getting benefited with transcendental knowledge. Actually, to come to this level, how many pious activities we all made up of from previous lifetimes come to the Central New Jersey. Imagine that point also. See? We're all here together for each other and doing nicely devotional services to Prabhupada and his mission. It's not easy, it looks, Satyabhama Mataji knows, right? No, you always say that, how fortunate we are here coming to
Yes.
this.
Yeah, I was thinking same thing. I know you will announce my name also. And then I joined late today. But yeah, Prabhuji, really, I was just thinking like 3 years back, like because of COVID, we just started this. Simeshwar Prabhuji started this, and
Right.
every day we got that taste. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. We had to join the class, and morning, evening, in all day we are in that consciousness.
Right.
So just thinking, meditating on that, say how it went. Like it's a manual of the life, like how to live our life. Even Krishna told that Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in 45 minutes, and it's taking us to understand each verse. Like so slowly we are getting there, but it's really delicious, like nectar. Each devotee has different thoughts. Every day we listen from different devotees. So it's our battlefield. Every day we are also in battlefield, and Bhagavad Gita is just giving us the guidance in our life, how to live our life. So it's a manual that we understood, like how to do our karma and how to And finally, just Sarva Dharman Parityajya, like leave it everything and just surrender unto him and do everything for his pleasure. Then you will get bliss. That's all. And we have to be very thankful to COVID. A lot of people lost their dear ones, but because of COVID, all we came together, and continuously we are continuously we are just thinking about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And I was just thinking, because of Srila Prabhupada, he gave us Bhagavad Gita as it is. Otherwise, I don't know what we were doing, right? We just got the treasure from Srila Prabhupada. That was there already. Bhagavad Gita was there. Everybody was having at home. But because of ISKCON, when we joined ISKCON, we really got the nectar of that Bhagavad Gita. And now we are just using in our lives. We have to be very, very grateful to Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas.
Right.
And go, right, Prabhuji?
Recently, my Guru Maharaj said one word that death is an illusion of non-existence. And just reminding that sentence every day. Death is an illusion of non-existence. I think I'm from the Prabhupada to share that. I know that. Death is an illusion of non-existence.
Death is the illusion of
Death
non-existence.
is an illusion of non-existence. Wow. Powerful words come from it. And he said, Krishna is responsive. Even small thing we do, he will respond to us.
Yes.
And Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said one recently, I think we all know that. If you want to understand Krishna as it is, you should read Bhagavad Gita as it is. These acharyas, our spiritual masters, everyone is intelligent in their own way. And Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said this one. So beautiful. Look at that, how our spiritual masters, Prabhupada disciples, how dedicated they are for Prabhupada and his mission. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
like
nice.
last week we just met our spiritual master. He's Pataka Maharaj at
Yes.
Brooklyn Temple.
Nice.
It's so amazing. Like when we see our spiritual wherever, like all gurus, if we meet anyone like Srila Prabhupada's disciples and all gurus, we feel totally different. We forget ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Their little association like Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, like
Sarva
it's
Siddhi Hoy, right?
matters,
Definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very aesthetic. Yeah. We are really fortunate. I
Of
always
course. Yeah.
we are blessed. Like you mentioned, how many births we did, what we did. Finally, we came to settle.
Absolutely. That is for sure, Mataji, I'll tell you. I've been here real close to 25 years now. 25 years with ISKCON,
Oh,
since
really?
early
Wow.
days. I think 2004, 5, I came with ISKCON here. I met Amrita Prabhu and somebody distributing books in John Madison, John Adams School. I took my kids to football game, and then we collected. We started. So since then, I mean, it was amazing journey.
And how see the result is. So
Yeah,
your
of
kids
course.
are so amazing, Prabhuji, Harini and Kiriti.
All the kids,
Whole
Mataji, all
family,
the
like
kids.
even in ISKCON, I see all the youth. They are totally different, Prabhuji. When we go out, and our youth means they are different, whatever it is.
They are, because they're devoted in the previous lifetimes.
Yes, yeah.
Everybody's, all the kids inside.
Everybody, yeah, all kids.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your association, Prabhuji.
Same here,
I
Mataji.
always enjoyed your class.
We help each other, Yeah. Thank you so much.
Haribol.
Amrita Prabhu, you have any final words to say? I always wait for your what do you call wise words, Prabhuji.
You give me more credit than I deserve.
No, you deserve that, Prabhuji. No, you are.
So, Prabhu, when you were talking about Dhanurdhar Swami, I mean, he's very, very dear to my heart. And Dhanurdhar Maharaj, Romapad Swami, Jayadvaita Swami, they are, you can say, they handheld all of us from our early days. And today ICNJ is the outcome of their of all their instructions and their association, started from Bhakti Briksha. And as you were talking about Maharaj's death is an illusion, so I was reminded of another saying of Maharaj about what is illusion. So he says, that what is that thing in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Krishna, Surya Sama, Maya hoy andhakara, jahan Krishna ta hai nahi, Maya adhikara. Meaning Krishna is like sun, Maya is like darkness, and wherever there is sun, there cannot be any darkness. So Maharaj says that, when you're facing the sun, there is no darkness. But when you turn your back from the sun, then you see the darkness, your shadow or whatever else there is. But he says, Maharaj, that, we've turned the back away from Krishna. And that is why we are in darkness. But in reality, you can't turn your back from Krishna because Krishna is everywhere. He's within every atom. If you turn your back to Krishna, he'll be there in front of you. He's to the side of you. He's on top of you, below you, everywhere. Krishna is everywhere. So how can you turn your back from something which is everywhere? It is possible only in an illusion. Because in an illusion, reality doesn't hold true.
Correct.
So that's why when we say we've turned our back to Krishna, that's where our illusion is, and that's where it comes. So, thank you.
That's what I'm waiting for, these wisdom words, Prabhuji.
No, this is
Thank
Maharaj. I had the great fortune to meet him at Rath Yatra also.
Oh, yes, I met him too. Yeah. So nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Hare Krishna, Babu. Babu, I want to ask you that who is your Guru Maharaj, Babu?
Oh, asking me?
Yes, Babu.
Dhanurdhar Swami Maharaj. He was he and Jayadvaita Maharaj established Vrindavan Institute of Education. Maharaj was principal for, I think, 25 to 30 years in Vrindavan. Those days, starting Prabhupada and all those, since those days. I think he served as a principal for 25 to 30 years.
Okay.
Then he wrote books called Waves of Devotion, Greetings from Vrindavan, and several books he wrote actually.
Okay, Prabhu.
Waves of Devotion is basically a summary of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, Prabhu. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
And he is very close to, like he takes yatras, every year he takes Puri Yatra, etc.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Okay, any other devotees would like to add any points here? Jai Prakash Prabhu. Anyone, please? And Sachimataji. You're all knowledgeable. Please, if you have anything to share, please go ahead. Okay, if not, Sumeshwar, we want to announce anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Prabhupada.
All glory to Prabhupada. Just wanted to say that we all are, we should all be so eternally indebted to Srila Prabhupada for showing us the way of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, I think all of us were so lost in this world. We were all existing.
Absolutely.
Literally living, like he said, like animals, no different
And
from animals, but
absolutely.
animals with a little intelligence,
That's
if we can call it intelligence.
absolutely.
So, and I think one thing I would like to stress in this forum, and which I should thank Amritanand Prabhu for it, is reading Srila Prabhupada's books. He literally, till his very last breath, was translating books for us. And I think he said, I'm doing all this for you all, at least read my books.
Absolutely.
And because of Prabhu now, I make it a point to read a little bit every day. And I think it's such a great experience, and I would encourage everybody in this forum to read a little bit, one page, one chapter, one verse, how much ever you can. And I think that's how we will progress, and we owe this to Srila Prabhupada.
Definitely.
So,
Very, very good words. No,
thank
actually,
you.
I'm just wanted to, again, I'm not advertising here. We every morning, 5:45 to 6:20, we read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in the fourth canto now. Again, I'm not advertising here. If somebody thinks, oh, I should read alone, we have at least 10 to 12 devotees join every day without fail. Few from India, we read Srimad Bhagavatam. If anybody interested, you can join also. I can provide. Again, I'm not trying to force anyone or trying to advertise here. I'm just giving information if anybody interested to join. Every day, regardless of weekend, weekdays, we do that. Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
This is Anjana.
Yes.
Yes, actually, I wanted to ask this question, like if somebody is interested in India, how can they join? So can I have those details? I would like to circulate in my
Yes,
family.
Mataji. Actually, I have about 5 to 6 devotees. Every morning they join from India. I think our 5:45 is around, I don't know how much time we've been in India. Even working people also joining. So yeah, we can certainly give that phone, Mataji. I think Vimal Gupta Prabhu on the call, Ravi Prabhu on the call.
Yeah, Prabhuji, 3:15 in India, Prabhuji, it will be.
3:15, yes.
Yeah, 3:15 p.m.
Yeah.
3:15 p.m.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, 3:15 p.m. Correct.
Yes, please. I will look forward to the details. I would like to circulate. Actually, I wanted my sister to join these like classes, lessons, and same thing like my cousins or friends.
Yeah, Vimal Prabhu, can you reach out to Mataji, please?
Yeah, sure, Mataji. I would need your phone number, Mataji. I'll reach out to you.
He can tell. He can tell. He can write down whatever it is.
Okay, so it's 732 609.
Okay.
6818.
Got it. 6818. Got it.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, this is Prabhupada and also Krishna himself, who is dear to me, most dear, who can propagate my name, who talks about Krishna. So if you tell your friends, Mataji, they tell you. So this is what you call, as I said, each one teach 10. This is the way. Even if you connect someone, that is as equal as teaching someone else about Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And we are connecting, as Sachin Mataji brought a very good point, right? That if we are not, our Prabhupada was not there, what you could have done in America, especially first 10 years. My life was literally going to weekends, going to friends' house. Okay, I invited you 2 times, you invite me 1 time. All this life had gone 10 years, I was frustrated. Vimal Prabhu, put on the mute. So here, where first 10 years I got frustrated, but as soon as I came to ISKCON, New Jersey, 1 year I struggled, but once I connected to ISKCON, I said, this is the best place I came to India, from India. Otherwise, I used to think, oh, when I'm going to go back to India, all my friends are there, they're enjoying this, that. But I'm connected to Krishna since then. My life is totally changed. That powerful bhakti of Krishna. And that's powerful Prabhupada mission is, my dear devotees. Otherwise, you go to their place, they come to your place, you eat there, they come and it's mechanical things were going before that. I'm just telling my honest opinion.
Yes, Prabhuji, actually almost the same way I was feeling for so many years. Like as you mentioned in this last chapter, the summary, like the things are going wrong in this world, or like that's why we need to surrender, or like we are not the charge of ourselves, but we need to remember, right, Supreme Lord, all that. So like that was the missing thing, only just the detailed knowledge and all that I will go through, but the feeling is same, and this connection fulfilled that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mataji. Very
These
good
lessons
point.
and these classes, like we knew it, something is wrong. We are
Right.
we waking up and all day we are working and doing so many things, but something missing. And
Absolutely.
that this thing.
Something not fulfilling, something not happy, Hey, any happy comes, oh, happy work, yeah. Next, what is next? What is next? Oh, tomorrow that thing I'll deal with. Okay, what is next? So it mechanically it goes. Once we have Krishna in our lives, okay, that's it. That is so the connection to spirituality, how important in our lives. That spiritual element is not present, as Sachimata just said, that purely animalistic life. Pure animals. We are just sophisticated animals, that's all.
Yes, kind of meaning of life was missing even after doing things, having degrees, experience, still there was no.
Mataji, example, if you look at last 2 to 3 years, on the Wall Street, billionaires died by suicide, doing suicide. Billionaires. They have enough money in their lives. Then at the end of the day, they suicide. Why? Because on the material platform, how much money we have doesn't give happiness. A small iota of devotion in our lives that magnifies anything in our lives, gives happiness, satisfaction. Why? Because by nature we are pleasure seeking. What kind of pleasure seeking? Eternal pleasure seeking that comes only when you connect it to Krishna, Supreme Lord. Nowhere else that is available.
Yes, Prabhuji. After COVID time, when things started opening slowly, and even the random sad news were coming from New York City, and I was wondering what's happening to people. You mentioned one example.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhu, can you repeat Maharaja's quote again? I'll write it down.
Death and illusion of non-existence.
No, come again, please. You're breaking off.
Death is an illusion of non-existence.
Okay. Death is an illusion of non-existence. Okay, thanks, Prabhu.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Dimashwar Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for a wonderful class, Prabhuji.
I don't know if it's wonderful or not, but all the devotees made it wonderful. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, if we keep all our life Krishna's in my mind, so in the daytime, you will not forget Krishna. But if you don't practice every day in your life Krishna's, then you will forget at the time of death. You would not remember Krishna at all.
Yeah, absolutely, Mataji. That's the whole purpose. Some people say, oh, I'll remember only the time of death. Why I have to waste my time? But Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj recently visited our temple. He wrote a book called The Death. And that he says that death is a painful experience, that 1,000 scorpions biting at the same time. That painful death is. Do you remember Krishna at that point? When you're happy also, you're not able to remember Krishna. Only a little problem comes, we try to go to God. But at the time of death, 1,000 scorpions start biting at the same time. I don't know how one scorpion bites. I'm just telling from the book. 1,000 scorpions biting at the same time. That painful death. Then do you remember Krishna? I hear a lot of stories from Mama Krishna. When Mataji was sharing that a small accident on the 287, she said, I didn't even remember Krishna Prabhuji at that point. I'm just worried about me. How we remember Krishna
Hello?
time of death?
Hello?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you can come. Okay, I'm expecting.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you so much. And also, dear devotees, so we'll not have class tomorrow, as what is happening? Something is happening. Yeah, the TOVP is coming. And a few things are happening tomorrow. And also, we are going to start a new section of Bhagavad Gita. It's again a summary study. And what we are going to take is, there are 5 major topics of Bhagavad Gita. That is Jiva, Karma, material nature, Ishvara, and Kala. So we are going to take this topic one by one, and there'll be a 2 section for each topic. Just for an example, like for Jiva, it's a vast topic. And based on Bhagavad Gita, what the Supreme Lord is revealing about Jiva. So this is a very focused study. And to understand more deeper, from the various scriptures based on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that who is Jiva, what is Jiva, and what is the, it's all reveals that, what Krishna reveals in the Bhagavad Gita. So like that, what is Ishvara, who is Ishvara? So we'll study all this very subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. So we'll be starting on Monday, and there will be Tuesday is Rath Yatra at the temple, so we'll not have class on Tuesday. But Wednesday and Thursday and Friday we will not have, because of we're going to prepare for the Atlantic City Rath Yatra. There are lots of preparation is needed. Cookies are packing, and so many things are needed on the Friday evening. So please, devotees, please join and help in all these services. And also there is an early morning cooking on Saturday morning. It starts at around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, so that we are cooking for almost 2,000 people. So we need a help on that as well. Please join. And then Saturday,
Prabhu, we also have Marjana this Saturday, 10 to 1.
That is day after tomorrow. Yeah, that's on this Saturday, 10 to 1. There is a cleaning process, and that's just before the Rath Yatra. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gundija temple, and this was a routine. This was every year before the Rath Yatra, because of in order to receive the lordships, as you know that when the Yatra happens, the Sri Kshetra, that's a Purukshottama Kshetra, from there the lordships comes to the Gundija temple. That's where the Srimati Radharani. Gundija is actually the wife of Indradimna Maharaj. That's where the devotee is pulling the lordships to Gundija temple. That's considered as the Vrindavan. And the devotees, before receiving the Lord there, they clean the temple. Everything is so deep. So that's a mood of that. Lord comes out, and Lord, very willing to come with the devotees, but the devotees take care of the lordships such a way that cleans the temple so nicely, so that Lord comes very happily. That's the mood. So it's tomorrow, day after tomorrow, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. There is a Gundija margin. That's why this word came up, Gundija Marjana. Marjana means cleaning. So please, Murdanda Prabhu and different other devotees leading this wonderful service, please join on Saturday, 10 o'clock. And then also next Saturday is, Tuesday is our Rath Yatra at the temple, and also Atlantic City Rath Yatra is on 24th. So please join for all these services, and so many, wonderful association of devotees. And this is the first year. It's not that, we just come and, there are a lot of devotees going, okay, let me also go. No, we need to understand the principle, the tattva of all this. Then it makes perfect sense for it. The Rath Yatra is actually, this is more of the Madhurya Ras. It's not that any other rasa. This is more exhibiting the intimate relationship with the Lord, the Madhurya Ras. That means bringing and the lordships into our heart, into our home. This is not an ordinary. That's the mood of Rath Yatra, that wherever we go, when we pull the lordships into our heart, into our abode, that's Lord becomes Lord's abode, right? So Lord is never separated from us, but we are making it separate. But the mood of that, I need to be with the Lord, Lord needs to be with us. These are all the moods of Rath Yatra. These are all the principles of Rath Yatra, bringing the lordships back to with us, or back to with the lordships. Anyway, so thank you so much. And Tomorrow we'll not have class, and the Monday we'll have starting with this first section of Jiva. So please join. So this will be a very deep dive section of the spirit soul. I mean, there are so many questions people have. Who is this? What is this spirit soul? You know. So this will be all answered. Yeah.
Where do you read from Jiva? Which book you read from Jiva?
This is the 5 main subject matter of Bhagavad Gita, Mataji.
Oh, from Bhagavad Gita only. Okay.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita only. We are so since we started with the verses, now we summarize. Now we are going to more understanding of Bhagavad Gita, right? What is Jiva? I mean, especially second chapter of Bhagavad Gita reveals more about the Jiva.
Okay, so I should read the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita,
Yeah.
so it will give me some information. Okay.
Yeah. But that is not only the place where Krishna is revealing about the Jiva. There are 15 chapter, there are 4th chapter, there are 7th chapter. All it's spread around, right? So when somebody speaks about Jiva, they will be covering all this, right? 2nd chapter, 15th chapter, they're bringing everything together. Consolidated.
It's good for me to learn. For me,
Yeah,
I'm a new person, so it will be nice.
So no, this is not this for everybody, right? This will be a very, very concrete understanding of Bhagavad Gita, very deep understanding of the Jiva. That's understand. So we are going more deep and deep, right? Initially, it was like each chapter, each verse. Now it's chapter. Then we are going more deep into that each subject matter. And then we will also, after this, we'll have the essence of Bhagavad Gita, teachings of Bhagavad Gita, the core cream of Bhagavad Gita, that's a plan of it. So in probably in next 2-3 weeks, we'll have this Bhagavad Gita summary section. And then we will start the, probably Ishopanishad. So please bring everybody together. This is free of cost. This kinds of classes is, you cannot get it very easily, but by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have this, and please bring everybody together, and everybody can benefit just by attending this. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Simeshwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
To Niru Mata's question, if she wants to prepare and read in advance. So there are across all different chapters, but if you go to the index and the end of Bhagavad Gita, very simple, just do soul. And all where soul is mentioned, you could read up those verses, translation and purport. So open Bhagavad Gita and to the end, look for soul. That way it will help you do a pre-reading.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hanjana here. Just question about the bus, like going to Atlantic City. Can I, who to reach out? And I heard cancelled or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think, that there are not enough because of we are hiring a bus. It's almost cost like $1,800 something. Just for the Atlantic City, and if there are not enough participants, then it's waste of money. So I mean, we don't have so far enough devotees. So only one more week. So it's maybe difficult for to book the bus and coordinate and all, right. I think that's the reason it's cancelled. So now what is the plan is actually, I think we are all driving from here, so every year because of it's more closer to us.
Yes.
So we'll drive from here. I think it's taking less than 2 hours and we'll be there.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
No problem. Hare Krishna. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? Otherwise, let's conclude. Thank you so much for being there. It's a wonderful association, wonderful Sangha of the devotees. And let's continue this journey until our last breath. And so it's so amazing, and we will be always grateful for the Supreme Lord and Srila Prabhupada for this opportunity. And thank you, and we are so grateful that all of you that you are coming, participating very sincerely with such a devotion. That's great. That inspires us more. So thank you so much, and let's conclude today's session. Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya
पतितानां
Padidanaamnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Dharaj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Shukla Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Gauri Vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Gauri Premanande Hari Hari Bol.